Hello everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the basic JavaScript tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 2 where we'll be setting up Node.js and VS Code. Okay, so we're gonna learn that how to set up your Node.js and how to set up your VS Code into this particular chapter, and we're gonna learn other things in detail like how you can write your first line of code, how you can navigate your code, and all of these things. So let's not waste much time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, I am back again at my web browser, which is the Google Chrome search engine. And now, first of all, we need to understand that why we are setting up or why you are downloading and installing Node.js and VS Code. So listen to this carefully that VS Code and Node.js have different part in building up a successful code for you. Whereas Node.js is basically used for running a set of code, VS Code is used to run a code, show the output inside the terminal, and also if you have any error inside your code, it helps you to debug that code for you, that you can have a smooth coding experience. Okay, so that's why a IDE is very recommended and it is actually used in a lot of place. So now the first thing over here, if you want to download Node.js, and it is always recommended that you download it from the official website. So I'll just go with Node.js download, and over here now if I just click, as you guys can see, here it says that get Node.js for Windows using this with npm. Like they already did understand that as I do have this Windows version, so what I can do is I can just click here and I can just get a pre-built Node.js for Windows, and I can just get it right over here. Okay, so if I just click on Windows installer.msi, it might take some time for me to download it, and as you guys can see, it is actually done downloading it for me. Okay, so now once this is done, I also need to download VS Code over here. So again, let's open a new web page, and from here, now I will type VS Code and I'll just click on enter. So the first option which pops up here, it says Visual Studio Code, and that is the one which we want to download. And here they're showing you that for what you do want to download, like if you do have a Mac, you can just download it for your Mac. If you do have a Windows, you can just download for your Windows. Okay, so make sure to download the user installer, okay, which is 64-bit. And now once, as I do have already downloaded it, okay, so I will just click on download over here, and as you guys can see, my VS Code is also getting downloaded. So for me, I just to show you guys, because I don't need the VS Code as I already do have VS Code and also Node.js run. Okay, so now from here, the next thing what you need to do is go to the downloads option. Okay, as you guys can see, go to the downloads option, and from here, if I just double click, you guys can see that welcome to the Node.js setup. Please wait while the setup wizard prepares to guide you through the installation. Okay, so I will just come here, I'll just close this thing up, and as you guys can see, they are just computing the space requirements for Node.js. Okay, so over here they're just doing or try to see the setup, and the setup will install Node.js. I'll just click on next, and you just have to click on next all throughout. Okay, so next over here, next here, next here, next, and once you're done, you guys can just install it. So let me just wait here for some time. So you guys can see that I am done setting up the Node.js file, and now I'll just click on finish, and the same way you guys will download your VS Code as well. So now let's close this one out. Now I will just again go to my command prompt, and let's see is my node working or not. So I'll just go with node /version, and if I just click on enter, now you guys can see the version of my node is actually being upgraded to version 22.14.0. Okay, so as this is done, now as this is working, I will just close this thing down, and now I will show you guys by opening up the VS Code. Okay, so I already do have my Visual Studio Code right over here, and this is the page that you are going to see at first. Okay, so over here I'll just close this one out, and from here now you need to open up a folder. Okay, so before that what I'll do is I will come here, and in here now I'll just go to new, and from here I will just create up a folder. Okay, and I'm going to name this particular folder as my JS. Okay, so my JS over here, and this folder is actually being created. So after this, now the next thing what I'll do is I'll just go to this Visual Studio Code, and from the Visual Studio Code, this is the same welcome page you guys will see once you open first your Visual Studio Code. Okay, so now once this is done, you guys can see for starting I will just click on open folder, and from there I'll just go to desktop, and from desktop I will just search for the file which I had recently created, which was my JS. Okay, so I'll just select this particular folder, and as you guys can see, now I'll just close down my page. Okay, no access to GitHub Pilot Lab, I don't need the access. And now you guys can see that in my VS Studio Code on the left hand side I do have opened up this my JS folder. Okay, and as you have created this folder, if you want to create your first code, or if you want to create your first JS file, what you need to do is you need to click on new file, and now in the new file I will just type first code.js. Okay, and once I click on enter, now you guys can see that I do have the option or I do have opened up my first JS file right over here. So now let's try to run our first line of code over here as well. As you guys can see, it is very advanced that it is also showing me all of these options. So console.log, open parenthesis, open the double quote, and I will just type hello world exclamation mark. Okay, so over here now, as you guys can see, now I am actually done with this. Okay, like I'm done with the line of code. But now how you are going to run this line of code over here in your file? Okay, so I'll just go to terminal, and from terminal I am going to open up my new terminal. Okay, and once you have opened up your new terminal right over here, the next thing what you are supposed to do over here is, if you do want to search, then you can just type node, then give it up a space, and after that you have to name your file which you have created. Okay, so node first code.js, and if I just come here, and you guys can see it is not actually running yet. Okay, so if you want me to start debugging this code over here, you guys can see that I can just run and I can just debug your code over here. Okay, so if you do want to run and debug, you guys can see it is giving me the output of hello world over here. Okay, so I can just run my code inside my terminal as well. Okay, so inside this terminal, inside this debug console. But now, let's say you do have a condition where you want to run this code just with a simple click. Okay, so I will just come here in this extension option in VS Code, and I will just type code runner. Okay, so over here you guys can see I do have all of this code runner over here, and I can just install any code runner from here. Okay, so now let's click on install, trust the publisher over here. And now let's come here, and once you have seen that I do have downloaded this particular extension, or I do have installed this particular extension, you guys can see I do have this small option on the right hand side of my code which says run code. Okay, so if I just come here, if I just delete this console, again come here in the explorer menu, and now if I just click on this of run code, you guys can see it is giving me the output right over here which says hello world. Okay, so that's how you guys can actually work right over here. And also now what I do want to do over here is let's go to my command prompt. Okay, if you do want to run this particular code inside the command prompt, so let's come here, and if you just check inside my.js, you guys can see I do have a file named as firstcode.js. Okay, so let's just delete this one, and I will just see the location, and let's go to command prompt. And inside your command prompt, now what I'm going to do is I am going to go to my desktop, or from here, I will just go to my JS. So now from here, let's this command prompt, and again what I can do is I can come here and I can just navigate those. Okay, let's say from here I want to go to the desktop file, and from the desktop file, or let's just type my JS, then I will just come here, greater than sign, then I'll just type node, then I'll just name first code dot JS, and here you guys can see my JS not recognized as an internal or external command. So instead of doing it or showing it to you guys in the command prompt, let me just show you guys over here, because I do have the whole address right here. Okay, so after that OneDrive, then desktop, then my JS. Like inside this OneDrive I do have desktop, and inside this I do have my JS. So what you can do is that you want to check that is your Node.js working perfectly or not. You can just run your code inside the terminal. So I'll just type node, and inside this my JS file, let's type first code dot JS, first code.js, and if I click on enter, you guys can see now it is returning me hello world over here. Okay, so this is how you guys can actually work or navigate and identify your line of codes and your JavaScript files. Okay, so over here the terminal is basically down. Okay, and I have already showed you that how you can actually download this code runner from your extension. Okay, and now let me show you guys, if you want this particular terminal not on beneath, but if you do want it on the right hand side, you guys can also have it. Like you will be able to see the outcome just beside here your line of codes. Okay, if you do want to do that, just come here, just right click, and from here you can just check for the panel position, and if you do want to go to the right, you guys can see the panel position over here is now on the right hand side. Okay, so I will just come here, and I will just position it quite accordingly like this. And yeah, I hope this particular class was clear on how you can work or how you can create your first line of code. We have learned how you can download VS Code, how you can download Node.js. And in our next class, we are going to get started with variables. So I'm going to tell you guys how you can create a variable and also how you can just strengthen your knowledge on JavaScript programming language with those. So see you all till then. Take care and goodbye, everyone.